Good morning. We are with Alex Christopher, President of PDAC.
Good morning, maybe. It's really great to be here with you. This is a phenomenal start to our 2022 convention. I'm first of all really excited to be here in person. I think we made a tough decision to move the convention from March to June, but I think this has paid off. I think you've seen the length of the registration lineup, so it's great turnout. Opening ceremonies, we had a full house for that. Some really great remarks from the minister on what the Canadian government is doing for the industry and supporting us in our transition to a low carbon future. I think that we have something for everybody at the convention here. We have our investors exchange, our trade show, we have our indigenous programs, we have our essentially environment and sustainability programs. Lots of short courses for folks. We have our student and early career programs. So really exciting lineup of things for people to do. And I'll be really happy when the people get through the line for registration and onto the floor where they can start to interact and mingle with people and take full advantage of what's out here for them.
What are the main differences between this PDAC and 2 years ago, pre-pandemic PDAC?
Yes, 2 years, 3 months, and some odd days since our last in-person event. So I think first of all the economy's changed substantially over that period of time. I think 2019 was a tough year from a commodity point of view. We've certainly seen through the pandemic a substantial increase in quite a number of the commodity prices. A big move here as the globe looks towards the critical minerals that are needed to get to a low carbon future. So lots of excitement. I think this is a generational opportunity for the young people in the industry to come here and spend 10 or 20 years and see growth within the industry and drive, I think, change in the world. So this is a phenomenal change over a 2 year period.
Besides critical minerals, do you see a new trend? Do you see more juniors, less juniors? Something that you feel a bit different?
Well, I mean, I haven't been out on the floor yet to actually see who's here, but I truly think that the junior industry is really important for the discovery side of our business, and the financing for that industry is really important. So I think that with Canadian government and our flow through share financing mechanism, that really helps Canadian companies in Canada get the best out of their dollars. I think that there's lots of opportunities for the junior companies to go off and focus on some critical minerals here in Canada. And I think that then, supported by the intermediate and major companies in terms of moving those projects forward from discovery to production.
And at the trade show, do you see is the different mainstream, or there's always the general companies that are coming, or
Well,
something different?
I generally look at the trade show as, first of all, it's a great place to get to go out and see the main contractors and across the entire industry. But I generally look at that as being a great way to go off and see the technologies that are being introduced into the industry. It's amazing how quickly things change. And, if you get a chance to walk around there and see what new things have been introduced over the last couple of years, you cannot stand still in this industry because technology changes so fast.
Yes, yes, yes. And how many delegates are registered so
Uh,
far? Do you
I,
know?
I do not know. You see the long line of people to register.
Yes.
As I say, I expect we'll see some really good numbers out of this, given the show up this morning at the opening ceremonies, as well as the numbers in the line. But Lisa and her team don't let me know those numbers. I think they don't want to let the cat out of the bag or tip their hat.
Yes. Okay. And imagine you are at the end of the PDAC, the last day. What are do you think should be or would be your more satisfaction? Uh,
Well,
at,
I mean, I think the first thing, when we get to the last day of the PDAC, I think, looking back at it, saying that the number of people have showed up, the chance for people to actually interact in person again. I mean, we can all, work remotely, we can all do business remotely, but I think this PDAC, more than any other PDAC, is really about reconnecting with your associates, meeting new people, and even, though it's only been a short 2 years, 3 months, and some odd days, there, companies and people change hands, and getting out there and actually putting faces to names and seeing the change across the industry is really important for building those relationships and partnerships that we need to be successful in the long run.
okay. And what do you think the next PDAC, you advise for the next PDAC, for next?
For next year, well, first off, I think people should bring warmer clothes because it's going to be back in March.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be big. I think this year we have a bit of a smaller footprint for the PAC, but I think next year we'll be back to I think our full footprint. I truly think that we'll see a fair bit of, I'd say, technology and innovation, which is a big thing. I think that our again, our indigenous programs and our sustainability programs, I think those just only continue to grow. And in fact, I don't know if you've been to some of those rooms in the past where we're at capacity in the rooms and we continue to grow that area, and the amount of interest in that area from the various parties is really important. I think the other thing important to note is here is over the last 10 to 15 years, the amount of presence of parliamentarians. So the Canadian government of folks here is growing, and it's really great to see them here in a collaborative fashion to discuss what the industry looks like going forward.
And if I would like to ask you only one main challenge to change from March to June, the most or difficult or more challenge.
I think the biggest challenge or the biggest disappointment moving to June is that March is all of the university students are still in school. Many of them are out looking for jobs still. When we get to June, it's in the summer field season. A lot of them are off on jobs, so our student program suffers here, and I think that's my biggest disappointment. Given that I see a massive future here for the new generation of geoscientists and other folks entering the business. So I think that's the key thing. They will have a chance to participate online on I think the 28th and 29th of June. So I think different than when I started off in the industry, people that are working in remote camps have full internet access many times, so that they can do that. But I think that's the biggest difference here is just the reduction of a student program. In the past, I think we had up to 1,300 students here, which is a really big program, and really bodes well for the I think the evolution of the industry over time.
Okay, okay. So, and the next PDAC, we are very happy to be here. This is really a fest, and thank you so much. We talk with Mina and Dina, and we hope every successful for PDAC.
Thank you very much. Excellent talking.
Thank you. Oh, excellent.